neck. I don't want it super, super tight. All of this is in the Leash Foundation course in case you need broke down details, leashfoundation.com. So all I'm going to do, I want her on my left side. I don't want her in front of me. I'm just going to teach her with praise and vocals and a little bit of direction on the leash, but I want her on the left. So here we go. I've got a short enough leash so that she doesn't have the whole leash, because if I start walking, she's going to sniff everything. I don't blame her. Let's go. And then I'm going to back pedal. Oh, you're making it look too easy. A little bit of pressure. My arm swings out to the side over here. This is how I tell her, I want you right here. If I just walk with her, let's go. And I start back pedaling and she gets confused, and then I go to walk forward, we're tangled up all over each other. So I keep my leash relatively short and I give her feedback. Let's go, baby. Good girl. Little bit of pressure, and then I swing my arm. Good girl. See how happy she gets when you talk to her? And I do not want her jumping on me. Good girl. So this is your cue to know, okay, if I do a lot of those kind of vocals, I'm going to get her all hyped up and she's going to be jumping on me. So I'm going to lower my vocals a little bit, but watch her body. If I don't give her enough praise, she gets nervous and shuts down. Come on, you got it. That's a good job. Right here. Good. Little bit of pressure. Good. Good girl. Good girl. You got it. Right here to the side. Good. So all I'm doing is getting her used to what that pressure means. So a little bit of pressure right there, a little bump, and that means go this way. Good. As soon as she gets to this point right here next to me, the pressure goes away. That's all we're teaching. Good girl. Whoops. So just back and forth. Yes. Come on. You got it. You got it. Good girl. No. Hey. No, it's not your turn. And a big, big piece of it is every time I stop, I want the dog to learn to sit. She doesn't know what sit is. She doesn't barely even know what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep my leash short. I'm going to switch hands. My right hand is going to grab on right here. My left hand is going to take and put her little butt right into a sit. And I'm going to pull up on that leash just a little. And then I'm going to say, good girl. Good. Really, really super mellow. Remember, no tension right here. No tension. No big deal. She's a puppy. We're going to do it again. Good. And you can use food. You absolutely can use food. I just know right now with these little dogs, I don't need to. So see how she does this to go in front? She's anticipating some kind of stop. No. Some kind of food reward. I don't want her to keep doing this. So watch what I'm going to do. I know she's going to swing her butt out in front of me. And I'm going to let her. Let's see if she does it again. Oh my God, if you guys can you see Utah? He is throwing a fit. Okay, so watch. I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to use muscle memory. I'm going to teach her. I want your butt right back here. When I stop, you go right into that sit. Good. No correction. You're not in trouble. I'm just teaching you where I want you to be. So anytime my feet stop moving, I don't want you flipping around looking at me. I want you right here. It's important to me, maybe not you, but it's incredibly important for my dogs to be right here. When we're out and about and I stop, I want you to sit next to me. I want to lean down. No. I want to lean down and know that I can feel your head right here. If somebody walks up, you just hang out quietly. But the bigger reason, on top of just regular manners, is when I go to teach her how to lay down, I want it to be super easy for her. And if she's right here, I can teach her how to lay down right next to me, almost effortlessly. So that'll be in the next video once she gets a little bit more used to this pressure. Let's go. Let's go. Good. Come on. Let's go. You got it. You got it. Good girl. Right here. Oh, Utah, you are too dramatic. Oh, nice. Nice job. So now as I sit, help her into it. Good girl. Good girl. Utah, you're gonna get grounded. So right here, shorten my leash, help her out. Nice job. Nice job. That's it. Wash, rinse, and repeat for this. And then I'll start going outside. And then I'll start doing the right turn and the left turn. But right now, I just need her to understand what the leash pressure is. So it's just the back and forth. Give a little bit of leash, a little bump, swing my arm out, use your vocal encouragement. Yay! I stop. Sit. Good sit. Good job. All right, little chubby boy. You want to turn too? All right, let's give you a turn. Let's give you a turn. Good job, Tyler. Good job, Tyler. All the way up there. There you go. You're like a little washing machine. Just a little tank. Okay, let's get you back over here, right here. Okay, here we go. Good boy. Now I already know this guy, he's just looking for the next snack. So I need to keep him over here to my left. I need to keep his engagement with me. He's not nearly as nervous as she is. She's a more nervous dog. He's like, doesn't care. So everything's cool to him. So I got to make sure that I'm the coolest thing. A little bit of pressure. Good boy. Hey, great job. Slow myself down. Oh, good job. We did that with the first live I was trying to do. I did it twice with him, and he picked up on it. I didn't know he'd stick it out and keep doing it. How did you remember that? That is such a good boy. That is such a good boy. The live that got cut off. And I can see a few comments came through. I'm going to try and look at them while I'm on this live. I haven't paid attention to how to do that yet, so I apologize if I miss them. If I do, when I end this, if I can't find them, if you want to drop them in the comment section, I'll still answer. Come on. Good. I stop. Oh my God. You are a dream. I literally did that with him twice and he's picked up on it. I did that little butt scoop thing. Good boy. Okay. Good. Good. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Neither one of them really fought the leash. I mean, she was on one when I picked her up. She just is super, super submissive. And this guy, honest to God, he's just so thrilled about everything. Come on. He really just doesn't care. Yeah, great job. Good boy. Oh, good sit. That's a good sit. That's a good sit. And the video we did before this was hand feeding for eye contact. And I'm telling you, that is a game changer. Start with that. And if you're doing this, you don't have a puppy and you're like, God, I just need to get my dog dialed in. You're starting from scratch. Start with hand feeding. I don't care if you have a 7-year-old dog. Start with hand feeding for eye contact. Go all the way back to this. Put the basics, put the training wheels back on. Good sit. Good sit. Good boy. But notice that everything I do is on a straight line. I'm not moving out of his way. You're moving out of my way. I know you're a little puppy that's been through hell, but you're a tough guy and you can do it. Come on. And if I don't teach you what I want, by default, I'm telling you whatever you're doing is exactly okay. And that's just kind of a jerk thing to do. Come on. Come on. Good boy. So when you see me doing this over here, I'm doing little tiny tugs. It's not a constant pull. It's little tiny tugs. Little bump, 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 like, hey, 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 I'm talking to you. Good boy. Let's go. Good boy. So I'll do this again today and make sure that their little sits are dialed in. And then tomorrow we'll go outside and start hitting some more distractions. Good boy. That's a great job. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do right now. You did great. You did great. Okay, I'm going to see if I can grab those comments on here. Don't you even get out of there. There's, oh, hey, I found him. Oh, hi, Emily. Do you ever use harnesses? I ask because I'm scared to injure my dog's trachea. He's rambunctious Yorkie who needs discipline in the leash. Um, I use harnesses, but not for teaching leash foundation like this, just because any pressure in this area of your dog, like you have a harness on him, is like if you pull back on it, your dog instinctively is going to pull the other way. So it's not you can't. It's not that you can't do it. You can. It's just very difficult. You need to do a lot of hand feeding for eye contact, a lot of clicker work to really keep their engagement with you. The trachea situations, I know what you're talking about because the little dogs, their necks are like shorter. When you put it all the way up here underneath their ears, that's where you're going to have the success. And so for you, because your dog will spin out, I'm sure, and get like super, super overly, excited, do everything in the house. Don't even go outside. Do everything in your kitchen or in your dining room. Get out of there. You got to keep the least amount of distractions possible in the beginning. So I don't know if you guys can see how fat his neck is. He just is to die for. Like, he is just the cutest little fattest. He's just thick. I shouldn't say fat because he's not. He's trim. Anyway, back to the Yorkie. No. So you want to keep with the least amount of distraction. So your dog's most likely not going to flip out or have a complete meltdown if you work him in the kitchen or in your dining room or, somewhere where there's not a lot of kids, there's no other dogs, there's no other, husband and wife or distractions coming in. And do this, what I just did with this dog, with your dog. Start with the hand feeding and then start with this. And if you can only get 3 steps before he melts down, you win. You do 3 steps. That's a win. And then the next time you try to get 4 steps. And I know it sounds tedious, but I promise you, if you slow it down, you won't panic. And when you don't panic, you're confident. And when you're confident, your dog believes you. And that's what you need. So when you keep that leash up here, you use a slip lead or his regular flat buckle collar. But if you keep it up here, you're going to avoid hitting that trachea, which is right here, where the dogs, choke themselves out, which is why most of us go to a harness. So you keep it up here and little tiny taps instead of a pull. And when your dog spins out, I'm trying to find a dog so I can do a live with it that does that. When your dog like flips out and goes bananas, don't keep pulling. You walk into the dog, walk towards them, give them all the leash, let them have their meltdown. When they're done, you calmly say, okay, and you start over. But you got to start where there's no distractions. Okay, let's see if we can missed something else. Again, the Leash Foundation course. Oh, guys, come on. There's a lot of this stuff in the Leash Foundation course. Well, all of it. Can I use a martingale instead? Yeah, you can use a martingale. You can use a martingale. You can, honestly, you guys, you can use whatever you want. The reason that I have people start with the slip lead is because you are going to have the most control and the quickest amount of feedback when you have it up here. Anything that sits down here, this is one of the strongest areas, the base of their neck and even right through here. That's why, like the Yorkie gal, so many people are going to go right to a harness because the second your dog, they'll choke themselves to death. They don't care. This is such a strong area. They will choke themselves out before they're going to back off and be like, oh, I should catch my breath. But when you have it up here, you have the ability to control their whole head. They won't choke up here. You can use less pressure, like to get their attention and redirect them, and then start implementing that training. So that's why I always suggest the slip lead, because you can keep it where it needs to be. The martingale, you typically have to fit over their head, and then it comes down here. So when you go to pull on that, if you pull on that leash and it cinches up, it's going to cinch up down here or even right here. But again, that's that strong area, and you're not going to be able to do a pop release because the dog's just going to pull through it. Does that make sense? So the name of the game is not constant tension. It's just, hey, 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 I need your attention. Hey. And then you've got to be the most important thing to your dog. So if I'm going to pop that leash and give that little bump, I'm going to bump it and then release, because I'm going to bump it and I'm basically saying, like, on their shoulder, I'm talking to you. When the dog looks at me, like, what? Now I'm going to implement, hey, great job. Hey, I want you over here. Sit down, whatever it is, right? Especially in the beginning. And it doesn't matter if you have an older dog, and I really don't care. I'm never going to fault the dog. I'm never going to fault the dog. So it's always on me to be more exciting, to be more meticulous, and to figure out what makes my dog tick. Like the little boy, he's going to do anything for food. And she's food motivated, but she definitely does better with vocals. With my German Shepherd, everything I've been doing with the hold on 1 second. Having two crates when the dogs are fighting. So you have to, like, if your dogs are getting into it, they're claiming space in that house. Whether it's you, they're claiming your husband, they're claiming, whatever it is. So when you rotate them, which is awesome, you need to do that. But if I put one dog in, that means that this dog, is out and it's probably doing whatever it wants. If you don't have the dogs dialed in to where you can put them on a place bed, I don't want dogs that are fighting to just free roam. You don't get to come out of the crate and then claim everything, and then you switch it, and then the next dog comes out and claims everything. They need to be doing something. They need to know what to do. You can't walk over here. You can't be in this area. And so if you don't have the ability to do that, or you haven't done that yet, it's important to have two crates, because you need to get both of them side by side eventually, depending on how the fights are, like how intense they are, like the whole. This is just a very generic overview. So your dogs might be completely bananas, in which case you'd put like a sheet or something. But the point is, I don't care if you don't like each other. I don't care. You don't have to be best friends, but you will tolerate each other under my roof. And if you guys are going out of your way to crate and rotate, I highly commend you, because it's a pain in the ass. But that means you're doing extra work for those dogs, and you're not doing extra work just so that they can, be assholes and do whatever they want all over the house. Implement structure. Make them both eat in their crate. Make them both sleep in their crate. If you do one at a time, that means one's getting structure and the other one's just kind of like a free for all. So it becomes this management system. And when you manage dog stuff, at some point you will hit your end. At some point you're going to hit a wall and be like, I can't do it anymore. But when you have a light at the end of the tunnel, hey, to work towards, then it makes it worth doing the hard work, because you're on your way to get to something else. I'm having trouble with my German Shepherd with everything that I have been doing with the training. Okay. So I'm only going to answer just a couple things based, on this stuff. And then if you need further help, like you need a full breakdown, either I'll do a live where I can answer more questions, but most likely that's more of like a consultation, because I need to know the whole setup with your, the way that you live with your dog. The gray dog has color pattern personality. Okay, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay, you guys, thanks for being here. We're going to work on their leash manners outside tomorrow, which will be totally different than this. It's going to be smells, birds, cats, all kinds of stuff that's going to get them distracted. So we'll hit that tomorrow, and drop in the comments if you have questions about what we did today, or if there's something else that you want to see. Are you stalking me? Oh, you little chubby dog. If there's something that you want to see with this, the down and the place are something I'm going to do in the next week, not this weekend. I'll do it next week, and that's going to be huge. Everybody needs to learn that. If you live with a dog in a house, you need to learn a down stay and a place command. Have to. You have to have a way to shut your dog off. If you have a dog that's fighting with other dogs, you need to learn that. If you live in an apartment, doesn't matter. Everybody, it's super, super important. Okay, tell them thanks for being here, and thanks for supporting you. If you need more help, the Leash Foundation course, it's $20. Just go to leashfoundation.com. Everything that I'm doing live is in that course. So if you need like a shorter breakdown and less talking from me, that's where you go. All right, guys, I love you, and thank you for being here.